Okay, just a quick note on IP version 6. As you know, IP version 6 is an IP address with 128 bits in the address. And it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It really isn't bad at all. It's separated into three parts. You have your global routing prefix, and this is the part of that address that's going to be given to you by your ISP, kind of like the IP version 4 address block that I had in my previous examples, right? The next part, the next 16 bits, are going to be the subnet ID. So this is going to be like your subnet for, this would be like the 192.168.2.0 subnet. That's what this part is. And then you have your interface ID, or this would be pretty much your host bits of the network. So, there's not a whole lot to it. And, just by looking over here, you can see, all right, we have our /48, that address block that was given to us by the powers that be. The next 16 bits, we can decide what networks we're going to build. But really, in this case, what this particular scenario is doing is just incrementing by 1. And so you have networks all the way to 65,536. Whew! There's not a whole lot of networks with that many IP addresses, unless you're some of the big name companies out there. So, and what you do, you could increment by 1 and go all the way down to 65,534. And the remaining 64 bits would be used for your devices on your networks. Something else that you could do, because those are fairly large networks, you could do what's called subnet nibbling, and that's the technical term there. So all that really is you have your subnet ID, and what you're going to do is borrow bits from the host portion. So this 16 bits here is what you start with, and then you start to borrow bits from the host portion of that IP address. So in this case, the subnet ID is extended by 1 nibble, which is 4 bits when you're looking at this hexadecimal address. So now your subnet prefix, instead of being a /64, you've just created a subnet prefix of a /68. So that is a possibility with IP version 6.